Hi there, today I'm going to show you how to create a 70s inspired makeup using these products. I start off, Ainsley's got clean skin and I'm going to hydrate the skin with some Fix Plus from MAC. Now I'm going to use Time Check cream for the underneath of the primer. And this is just to prepare the skin and get it really ready for makeup. That's also by MAC. Now I'm using P. Louise as an eyeshadow base, using a flat brush and applying it underneath the eyebrow in smooth, clean strokes all over the lid, and then blend out either corner. Repeat on the other eye. Ainsley's got strong eyebrows, so I'm going to use a little bit of soap. I'm just emulsifying it with a spoolie and I'm dragging the soap through the back of the eyebrow. Leave it for a few seconds and then smoothing it down, and then I'm dragging the eyebrow into a thinner position because in the 70s the eyebrows were much thinner. I'm just pushing the hairs into the middle and then setting them. And then finish off by blocking out any hairs at the top that you might see. Again, just to narrow the eyebrows to create that effect. And again, I'm just using P. Louise as my base. And now I'm ready to start applying some eyeshadow. So I'm using the Carnival palette and I'm using the palest colour in the palette. You can see here I'm just working it into the skin and I'm going to put that in the inner corner of the eye. I'm using a padding technique, pushing the makeup on and blending out at the end, both sides. The 70s look was very shiny, very sparkly, lots of glitter, and the shapes of the eyeshadows were very round. So Ainsley's got quite a hooded almond eye, so I'm really going to have to change the shape of her eye using some corrective techniques. I'm now using the orange gold colour in the Carnival palette in the centre, and I'm taking that colour almost up to the eyebrow on both eyes, and I'm blending carefully between light colour and darker colour. And then I've chosen a really shiny green colour. I'll give you the names when I see you, in the outer corner. Again, that's from the Carnival palette. Lots and lots of shimmer. So I'm blending that up and out and again into the centre colour so there's a smooth transition. Same on the other eye. When you're happy with your shape, then it's time to add the glitter. So I'm going to use the Fix Plus as my moisture, or the glue in other words, for my glitter. So I'm using a really pale glitter in the inner corner, and the Fix Plus has dampened all the eyeshadow so the glitter is sticking beautifully to the eyes. I find trying to blend glitters together, which is what I'm doing, is difficult if you use a glue. So I felt the Fix Plus would give me the opportunity to be able to blend 2 different or 3 different glitters into each other, and that's what I'm doing now. So I'm using kind of peachy, pinky colour in the centre. And then I'm going to use a dark grey in the outer corner. And again, the application is padding. You can wet your brush, but again, it makes it difficult to blend the colours together. So see how you go with that. So I'm just blending the dark grey glitter to the outer corner. And again, I'm using the padding stippling technique just to get it to all blend together beautifully. And once you're happy with it, then you can spray the area to fix it in place. I'm just adding a little bit of the pale glitter now up on the brow bone. Just to add a bit more glitter. When you're happy, it's time to clear up any fallout. I'm just using a wipe. Make sure you add any primers or any creams that you've already put on in that area if you have removed it. I'm just adding a little bit of the grey glitter along the lash line here, just to create more of a liner look. The 70s was very much about kohl pencil. The more you got around the eyes and in the eyes, the more of a 70s look you create. So that's really what I'm going to move on to now. I've got a really good MAC kohl pencil that's really, really dark. So I'm going to be putting that inside the waterline and outside the eye as well. Before that, I'm just putting on a little bit of P. Louise base, just so that then the area receives the makeup and it stays put. For hygiene reasons, always scrape everything out that you can from cream palettes. But for shadow, then you can use a sanitising spray, so that then each time you're dipping in, you're not contaminating, so you can spray it over the top. If you're using a pencil, it's slightly different. Obviously, you want to get a good application. You can remove some of the pencil crayon and then use a brush like I'm using here. Or you can use a gel eyeliner if you don't want to use a pencil. The best way really is just to sharpen the pencil before you use it, and again after you use it, and that way you are not cross-contaminating. So remember I said I'm trying to create more of a round effect with Ainsley's eyes, so I'm dragging the colour down in the centre and then rounding it off at the corner. And now the waterline. Some clients are quite dubious about you doing this. I always ask my client if it's all right to do this, and visibly sure that you are sharpening the pencil before you apply, so that she's not worried about cross-contamination or infection. Now I'm happy with the eyes. I will revisit them, I always do, but I'm ready now to start doing the skin. So I'm using the strobe cream from MAC, which is one of my favourites, and remember the look is very shiny, shiny skin. And also in the 70s, very tanned. Having a tan in the 70s was really classed as being good. So I've mixed 2 of the Be Perfect foundations. I did notice they were quite thick, so just a little at a time. If you like, you can add a bit of strobe cream through the consistency to just loosen it off if you like. And that's what I did here, so that it's a nice light application. Foundation wasn't particularly heavy in the 70s because of the tan. Everybody kind of wore a kind of nude skin. But in this instance, because we're doing it for a photo, yes, you definitely need to have some base on there. I'm now doing a reverse contour, so I'm doing a lot of highlight because the skin's so tanned. So I'm trying to pop the middle of the face out, so I'm using a lighter base, and then I'm just blending it in. The contour in the 70s was very angular, so you'll notice when I start to contour, you'll see that I have done quite a kind of angled look with a sort of diagonal shape. Just patting it in. When you're happy with that, then it's time to powder. I'm just covering up a couple of wee blemishes that Ainsley's got. She's got a couple of breakouts. I'm just checking my blend. It's good to always check the full perimeter of your client's jawline, just in case you've got any lines of demarcation. Now powder. I thought the powder was really good when I was using it. I really liked it. It wasn't too much going on, and you were in control of the amount, so I really liked it. Powder everywhere. You can see it's just taking Ainsley's skin tone up a little, which is what I wanted. I'm now ready for contour. So I've mixed the lightest colour with a little bit of the two paler colours as well. Tested it on the back of my hand first, I always do. And as I say, I'm doing quite an angled contour on the cheek here, just below the cheekbone, down the sides of the nose, just to do a bit of correction there, on the forehead as well. So the late 70s that bronzer was invented, so it's kind of more of a bronzery rather than an actual sculpted contour. I'm just revisiting any areas that need another bit of correction, just that area there. Adding some concealer and then some powder. I'm just going under the eyes again with my pencil. I just want it to look a little bit stronger, a bit deeper. This is something you should always do as you're doing a makeup, is revisit an area if you feel it needs a bit more strength as you're working. Just be careful when you're working here as you've done your glitter. So just be very gentle when you're doing anything like that. I've sprayed the face with some more Fix Plus, and now I'm adding some shine glitter to the upper cheekbones and the forehead area, which is another trait of the 70s. So now I'm doing mascara. I like to use a spoolie again to avoid cross-contamination, and I scroll down on top of the lash first and then up. Use lots and lots of mascara for this. Again, mascara was big in the 70s, as were lashes. Now what I've done there is I've taken some of the glitter and I've just blown it all over her face just to give her an amazing sort of shimmer. So the first time I did it didn't work, and the second time it worked a little bit too much and Ainsley got a fright. So now I'm going to go for lashes. So I want intense lashes, but not too thick. So I want a sparse, intense lash, you know, long-ish. So I've glued the bottom root, and then I've just placed them in, keeping the client's eye open so that then the eyelash doesn't feel tight on the eye. On to lips now. I'm starting off with our nude lip to get Ainsley's shape, and I want to make the lips really big, so it's a good idea to start off with a nude, and that way then if you do make a mistake you can clear it up easily. Once I'm happy with the shape, I'm then going to come in with a dark brown pencil, which is again another trait of the 70s. Outline the lips in a dark brown and then get the client to blend it in. It's important you take your time with this section of the makeup. Get symmetry, good symmetry with it. I'm slightly overlining Ainsley's lips, again just to give them a more of a fuller look. Don't forget to do the inner corners of the client's lips as well. And then get her to blend ever so slightly. Just to blend out the line, a kind of a ombre. And then no colour, just clear gloss over the top. So this was inspired by Studio 54. So it's kind of mid to late 70s look that I've gone for. So I hope you enjoy it. And here's a couple of images to finish off.